EU is proposing to use frozen Russian assets in Belgium to create a $163 billion loan to buy weapons for Ukraine. The European Commission, EC, plans to use frozen Russian assets in Belgium to provide a reparations loan worth €140 billion, $163 billion to Ukraine. The reparations loan is the amount that Ukraine only has to repay after Russia compensates it for war losses. The majority of the money will be used to buy weapons, as well as to support the European and Ukrainian defense industries, according to documents describing the loan's contents provided by the EC to ambassadors at the European Union, EU, on October 17th, which were seen by the Financial Times. At France's suggestion, European-made weapons will be prioritized for purchase under this loan. However, the EC noted that it may be possible to cooperate with international partners committed to providing further significant support to Ukraine. The Financial Times reports that this means the Commission is proposing to use part of the loan to buy American weapons and transfer them to Ukraine, provided Washington continues to support Kyiv in the conflict with Moscow. According to diplomats and EU officials, the bloc wants to use major arms procurement contracts to maintain U.S. support for Ukraine. U.S. President Donald Trump recently agreed to transfer more weapons to Ukraine on the condition that Europe and other allies pay to buy them on Kyiv's behalf. The Commission also called on the G7 bloc and other nations to increase support for Ukraine along with the EU, according to the document. One option is for countries to provide Ukraine with a reparations loan, similar to the EU, using frozen Russian assets within their jurisdiction. Britain and Canada have hinted that they are willing to do this. After the outbreak of the Ukraine conflict in late February 2022, the West imposed a series of sanctions on Russia, freezing approximately €300 billion, over $320 billion US, of assets belonging to the Russian central bank and the country's oligarchs. Approximately $245 billion of frozen Russian assets are located in the EU, of which nearly $215 billion are managed by Euroclear, a securities depository based in Belgium. Securities worth approximately $205 billion have been converted into cash upon maturity. This is the Russian asset that the EU could use. In response to information that the EU wants to use Moscow's frozen assets to support Kyiv, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov announced on October 1st that Russia will prosecute any individual or European nation that appropriates its assets.